Okay, actually I would have to finish this picture, but I thought way too much boobs for YouTube. So this is my setup. This is light from my drawing board, and this is how far I've come with the preparation for my work. This is my sketch with an acrylic wash on it. It's going to have leaves on his head. It's a steampunk figure I found a photograph of on Pixabay, so it should be a CC0 license, and I changed it up a little bit, so I had it because of the leaves and these for the sick people, this snout. I'm wondering if the paper will hold, because I want to paint on it with oil, and I have to say that the paper is already warping and also dissolving with the acrylic wash, and I think it's absolutely weird because it's a paper that is meant to be for oil painting and acrylic and mixed media techniques, and also said that it is acid resistant, and then it already dissolves with a little bit more water. So we will have to see how this will work out. So now with the setup fully completed, got my color palette. Maybe I'm gonna add some shiny bright yellow, but I didn't want to use the tube if I'm not sure if I'm gonna use it. But there are lots of different browns. I got two different this is actually a red one, the one in the middle. And I got some white and some very dark blue for the dark parts. Got my webcam set up and Robin clones to keep me company. So let's do this! And off to the oil painting we go. It has been quite a while since I've painted with oil. You might know that I was in an art school until my 13th school year. So like when you kind of graduate. And there I did some oil painting, acrylic painting, sculpting, all the stuff that you like, all the fine arts. And then I started my studies and decided to learn something that's more like a craft. So I learned animation. It's still a form of art, but for me, the way of thinking is like when I paint or draw, this is my art, and when I animate, this is my craft. It's my skill, or not a skill, however you want to put it. And yeah, so I after 6.5 years of animation studies, I got out my oil paints again. In between I have done 3-4 acrylic paintings, but I have to admit that acrylics, I like them, or I can work with them, but I don't like them as much as oils. I mean, oils are horribly stinky, but the texture is so much better, and you can work for so long on it without it drying. And I feel with acrylics you don't necessarily have this decision that you can make if you want to work rough and quick or take your time and work very smooth. I always have a big difficulty working smooth with acrylics. So I feel that this choice of if I want to work rough or smooth is easier with oil, because as of it stays smooth for much longer. I showed you my palette at the beginning, but I forgot to tell you with what medium I'm working. And I recently got me turpentine replacement, because it's a little bit less smelly, a little bit less toxic. And I don't know, you can still get real turpentine, I think. Substitute for turpentine. But it works really well. It's quite dry. I like that. And if I have a spot where I would like to have it more shiny, either I use less turpentine, or a thing that I recently heard from Jeff Lafferty is that he uses linseed oil. And I have 2 or 3 times in this picture tried to work with really just a tiny amount of it to see if the colors get more slick, and they do get more slick. Now the only thing that I have to see is these spots where I use the oil, how much time they're going to take to dry. I don't know if I said it already, but the drawing is from a reference photo I found on Pixabay. It was marked with a CC0 license, so I thought I could use it as a reference. One thing that I really liked is also the reason why I picked the picture is the mask, because first of all, it's a picture of a person that I don't know, so you don't see a face. And I changed up the hair because you couldn't see any hair. The person didn't have any beard. Also, the head was a little bit different. And he has these flowers that looked a little bit like mistletoes on the head, and that was the second reason why I wanted to have it. Also, this that you have this green spot and the red vest. I've just made the vest a little bit more red than on the original picture because I wanted to have this contrast. And yeah, the background is just there was this acrylic wash where I already told you that the paper reacted a little bit to it. I have to say that it after I dry blowed it a little bit with the dry blower, it was less wavy, and the oil painting did not dissolve the paper more. So I guess it's just a little bit sensitive if you work with a lot of turpentine or a lot of water. So the greasier or the more texture your color has, the easier it is for the paper to stay alive, I would say. I'm not 100% happy with the painting, but I've decided to just stop it now because I just wanted to have like a very quick exercise, or more like a speed paint. I don't know if you can call 2.5 hours speed painting. Maybe with oils you can. But I wanted to see how much I can do in that amount of time and how the workflow is. Just like getting the feeling again, so that I know what I'm getting into next time when I'm painting with oils again. Because I really like it. I really want to pick it up again. And maybe do some specific exercises for the contrast. You can also see in the drawing that there are some places where I took more care, so they look more neat, they look nicer. And then there are a few places where I took less care, but also I try to force myself to leave the simple places as they are, so that you have like the main thing in this picture is the mask and the leaves. So I wanted them to pop out. So if everything is very much detailed and popping, then I think you oversaturate it. So if you have these details on the mask and on the leaves, that's enough to get the attention of the viewer where you want it. And the rest just has to be, let's say, well done, but not as detailed. At least for the style of painting I wanted to try. So I think I have babbled enough, and I'm going to cut this video together for you now and show you the result. So, this is the end result. I hope you like it. I hope you like the video. I am going to cut it down now because when I look at recording it tells me 2.5 hours, so I'm gonna see how I can make a 5 to 10 minutes video out of it. So yes, you've probably already listened to everything and saw everything, so I'm just going to leave you here now. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe, and I see you next time. Bye!